Hi everyone. I'm just making sure that the video is going on my Facebook page, and it seems to be. If you could just give me a little thumbs up, say hello. Hi Laurie, how are you? You enjoying the weather today? Oh, it's such a nice blue sky, isn't it? What a nice change after last week when it was having that thunderstorm. Hi Jane. Oh, I'm waving to you on the Facebook page. I realise you can't see me. I'll wave here. Hi. So today's things that I've got ready are baby wipe technique. So I'm just going to pop this here and you can see the card that we're going to make. And I also promised that I would show you the Love It Chop It class. And there's just a couple of days left that we can order this and make sure that we've got it in time. And what it is the pack of 12 by 12 paper, the Euro Peach Designer Series paper. And ignore these little pieces because they're all my extras. And what we do is we cut the whole pad of paper into 3 inches by well, let's measure them. These are 5 1/4 by 4. They're not 3 inches at all. I'm thinking of the class for the 6 by 6 papers. So these are 4 by 5 1/4, and you get you cut along at 4 inches depending on which way the pattern goes, and then you get 9 pieces. Or if we're cutting them at 4 inches, you will get 6 pieces. Maybe I should start again today. So these are all the pieces, and I've just found that I'm more likely to use them if I've got them ready chopped. If I don't chop them, then I tend to store them in the cupboard and then think I ought to have 2 packs. If I've opened them, I ought to have another pack just in case. So you get the paper and you will chop it yourself, and then you get the clear stamp box to put them in and the little cover. And then each month we will have a set of cards as well, and I will send the PDF for the cards. And these are those same pieces of paper, just chopped in different ways. So let's put that way around. And you can see, once those pieces are cut, I promise you will use them more often. So if you're still interested in this, before I send the order in on Thursday, let me know. Okay, so right, I'm just going back to my Facebook messages. Oh yeah, you're going to see your mum, aren't you? And take her to see family, Laurie. That would be so nice. Okay, so today's class or Facebook Live is baby wipe technique, and probably most of you have seen it or even done it. It's a really, really easy technique, and you can get these like mottled pictures or mottled patterns, but they don't have to be like that. One of the other cards that I'm going to show you, let me move that paper out of the way. One of the other cards is this, and it's still the baby wipe technique. It's just done slightly differently. So this is with the prized Peony stamp set, and this one is done with the Love of Leaves. So Laurie, the paper, let me show you it in the annual catalogue, but it's actually a whole class that I'm doing. The paper on its own, they're usually $15.75 before postage and packing and GST. So it's $15.75. So it's this paper here. Okay, but if you're interested, drop me a line and we can make a plan, Laurie. Okay, yeah, hi Janice, I like baby wipe technique too. It's really stunning. You can make such pretty cards, and I love how this one comes out too. So let me show you what we're going to do though. So I'll leave this up here just so that you can see. I'm going to, okay Laurie, I'll send you a message afterwards. I'm going to use this leaf, and this is a set from the annual catalogue. There are other sets in the mini catalogue which are leaves, but this is my one from last year, and let me just find it in here. So Love of Leaves, page 115. So it's this one, and last year it was sold as a bundle with the dies. This year you buy them separately, but one die that I really love and I've used on lots of cards is this one. And when you first look at it, you sort of think, is it icicles or what is it? But it makes these stitched lines. And what I've done is put it sort of on the piece of card here and maybe put my design round it. It just gives that nice extra little effect. So that's the set I'm going to use. But you can use any set you've got. I just wanted mine to be sort of autumnal and ready for Thanksgiving. But, you know, any leaves would work. You can even do the smaller leaves and make more of them. Hi Judy, nice to see you again. So, I'm going to start with my big block. And when I do baby wipe technique, I like to have a bigger block just to put the wipe on. I find that if I've got it on a small block or if I've just got it on my table, I end up getting it either on the cardstock or on my pad, and it doesn't end up very nice. And you literally just need a baby wipe. I don't buy any one in particular, I just happen to have these ones. All the baby wipes work the same. And if you don't have baby wipes, I have done this with a wet paper towel, but it's not quite as good with a paper towel, but it does still work. So I just fold it into 4, and then I choose my colours, and you use ink, the refills. So I've chosen, what have I got? Calypso Coral, Pumpkin Pie, Cajun Craze, Mango Melody, and Daffodil Delight. But you can choose any. If you want to have some reds in it, you know, the Cherry Cobbler looks really nice with it. If you want to have a little bit of green as well, I would go with something like the Granny Apple Green because it's a little bit brighter. But any colours that you think are autumnal. And all you need to do is just use your inkers and just put little bits all over the baby wipe. You don't have to do a pattern for this. You don't have to do so many drops. Some people will drop like this, but I like to know exactly where the ink is going. So I tend to squeeze and scribble. And that way, I find I get a better mix of colours. But you never know what it's going to turn out like. Every single one will be different. And some, you know, I'm just putting a few bits in of the Cajun Craze here. Some you'll have more of the colour, some less, whatever you want. It's also very pretty to do flowers like the one I showed you, but things like underwater scenes as well with the blues and the greens, that turns out really nice. Okay, and you don't have to worry about it being really precise. The colours will bleed into each other a little bit, and I always do a practice stamp, and if I don't like it, or if I think there's a little gap, then I just pop another few little bits of ink drops on. So I've got the big, yeah, just willy-nilly. Thanks Jane. So I've got the big leaf, and all you do is you just pop it onto your block. I don't tend to move it about a lot because I don't want lots of colours all smudged into each other. So then stamp it out once. Now I've got little bits of white that I can see, and I can see them on here too. So all I do, I'm just going to get an inker, put a little bit more on. It will soak through the baby wipe. But yeah, you just put a bit more on. And you keep going till you're happy. It stays wet for a long time. So, hi Anne-Marie, how are you doing? So, because it's wet for a long time, you don't have to worry too much. You're not in a great big rush. It's not going to dry up. Okay, so I like that better. But look, there's still a few little bits that are light. So, where they are, I'm just going to put a little bit more. Okay. I love re-inkers for this, or even for putting on a block and using as an ink with like a water pen. Just put a few bits on a block and use it like that. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I'm happier with this. Yeah, okay. Except I want a bit more Cajun Craze. I think I put a bit much yellow on now, so I'm going to put a little bit more Cajun Craze. So I really want to see that colour, just because the back of my card is going to be that colour. Okay. So let's get the back of our card cut. I'm going to move that one out of the way. And I've got the Cajun Craze. And I'm going to score it. I'll just move this card for a moment. I'm going to score it at 5.5. So let's pop that in there. Move my trimmer blade and just use the score blade. And then I'm going to just turn it round and cut it at 4.25. Okay. And I'm actually going to make 2 cards at the same time. So let's find all these little pieces that we need. And fold this one over. And go over this with your bone folder. So how's the weather today in Ontario? Here we haven't got any rain, we've got blue skies and sunshine, and it's beautiful. Okay, now I've got 4 pieces of my basic white card. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to use 2 because I'm going to do the outside, and I'm going to do 2 for the inside. So let's see. Let's do our outsides first. And probably my stamp will go over the edge. So I'm just going to put a little piece of scratch paper down as well. So I've got my ink block back, my own ink pad. And I'm just going to randomly stamp. Ooh, that's nice and dark now. Let's turn this one upside down. And then I'm just going to put a little bit here. I'm going to stamp 1 bit for the inside, so just 1 leaf. And then because this is quite dark, I think I might just put a little bit more yellow on as well. So I know that they go together, and I really need to do my envelope at the same time. So let's do an envelope too. And then I know that those ones all match. And I'm going to pop a little bit more yellow on. So let's go with that brighter Daffodil Delight. Ooh. This is going to be so pretty. Okay. And you don't have to clean your stamp between uses or anything. I'm going to do just the same here. And you really don't need to worry about the pattern. Just stamp wherever you want to. And what I have done before as well is even put this in a little plastic bag. Sorry, I'm just reaching over for another envelope. I've put this in a little plastic bag and used it the next day too, because you've actually got quite a lot of ink refill on there, so it will, you know, it will go a long way. Okay, now I've finished with this one for now, so I'm just going to move that over to one side. In fact, let me move it over here. Okay, and I'm not going to need this anymore, so I don't need the stamp. I'm going to put my envelopes out of the way, and let's do our stamping on here. Now I chose, because I wanted them to be Thanksgiving and fall cards, I chose the Sweet as a Peach and this Happy Birthday. No, I didn't. I chose this Thanks So Much. I did do a card this morning with a Happy Birthday. That's why I'm thinking I used Happy Birthday. But actually it was this one I just used. And I stamped with Cajun Craze, because that's going to be my card base colour, and I wanted everything to match. Okay, so it's tricky when I've done stamping in the morning as well, and you know, I've got ready for Facebook Live, and then I'm thinking, oh, I had that out this morning. I made a birthday card, but of course that wasn't what I was making for Facebook Live. So let's just stamp both of these. There would be enough ink on that baby wipe to do, you know, another half dozen cards or so. There's always lots. Okay, so we can get rid of that stamp. I don't need that one. And we can start to assemble our card, because it is a quick and easy card. So I'm going to pop this one in the middle. Let's find my stamping seal. There is one other little piece to do as well. So we're going to do some cutting, and I'm going to use the Stampin Mini cut and emboss machine, because it's only a small piece. But let's put our insides on first. Okay. See how these leaves look really autumnal now? So pretty. Okay. And then let me see, that's this one. So we'll attach this. I'm only putting it down flat. I'm not putting a layer underneath. Literally just putting it flat down on the card. I don't think this one needs too much in the way of raised layers. So, okay, let's close this one. Okay, now you'll see on my card here that I've got, this is the gold foil, and I've cut out one of the leaves, but it also embosses. Can you see how it's put the veins in? And what I've done for mine is I've already cut one, but I've cut it with the copper foil this time. Now it takes a little bit of finding in the catalogue to find these gold and copper foils. So you just have to know where to look for them. So if you look up foil sheets, it says page 135. You might look at 135 and think, no, she's told me wrong, they're not on that page. They're right in this corner up here. So it's the copper foil sheet and the gold foil sheet. But honestly, it took me ages to find them, because I kept looking at that page and thinking, well, I can see this metallic speciality paper, but I just want the plain shiny. And there it is, right in that corner. So it is there. Now I'm going to cut one of them, because I've only cut one of my copper sheets here. So I'm going to use this outline. Now this is the same outline if you wanted to cut out the leaves themselves, then you could put this round. And this is the one that cuts that leaf out. So if you don't have the copper or the gold, or you want to use another leaf, then you cut it out with this. And they're like a little stitched edge. But this is the piece that fits inside and embosses those veins on it. So you need both pieces together. And I've just got my little trimmer. No, my little cut and emboss machine even. And I've got a tiny little piece of copper foil left. I know it's just big enough. So you put your leaf one on first, and just have to work out how it's going to fit. There we go. So that's it fitting on there. And then this one you turn over and pop just inside. And you just move the little pieces around until you've got a nice even gap all the way around. Just move that slightly. There we go. Okay, and then I'm just going to run that through the trimmer. I keep calling it a trimmer tonight. It's not a trimmer. It's a cut and emboss machine. Okay, so let's move that one back out of the way. And then I take this off. You see how it's beautifully embossed. And then, let's just take this off. There we go. I didn't want to pull it too fast in case it tears the foiling. And let's pop those back away because we're not going to need those again. Janice, how are you getting on with all your new goodies? Have you had time yet to play, or are you still in back to school mode? Okay, so I'm going to put these on with the dimensionals just to raise it up a little bit, and I'm going to put 3 on the biggest parts of the leaf and then just 1 in the middle, and that's enough to keep it on there. Okay, and I'm going to put it on upside down. Let's see, where am I going to put it? I'm going to put it here on this one, and then let's find our other one. Ooh, where's it hiding? Oh, it's gone somewhere. You can probably all see it. It's somewhere on the desk. No? I don't know where that went. I didn't put it away in the box, I don't think. I don't see it on the floor. Well, that's a mystery. It was there a moment ago. I didn't put 2 together. Okay. No, I can't see it anywhere. Okay, well, I'll just be putting it on the one for now then, until I find them. Really didn't put it in the box, did I? No. It's not hiding over here. Well, how strange. Okay, we're just putting the one on then. I wonder if I picked it up with the catalogue. Let's look back where that foiling was. Nope. Okay. Can anybody else see it? No. All right. We'll just put this one on. And oh, here it is. Look. Was it there all the time? Oh dear. I think I might need to go to the opticians, get new glasses. Okay. I think it's going to be one of those evenings. Maybe I had too much sun yesterday or something. Oh dear. Okay, now this one I'm going to pop this way. And then I've used the that little gold trim from the Elegant set. So it comes with a gold and a silver, Simply Elegant trim. And I've just tied it in a little bow. And although this is copper, I'm quite happy to have this little gold bow. I think it'll stand out nicely. So I'm just going to pop that onto here. And the same with my other one. There we go. Pop that on there. And then for the embellishments here, I used the Holiday Rhinestones. And I used the yellow ones, which are really pumpkin pie. And I thought they were just a perfect colour for it. So let's pop these on. And I'm just putting 3 on, just in the white space. Just so that it doesn't look too empty on that white. Let's see. Let's put these ones this way around. Okay. Let's move that one out of the way and let's find our envelopes. That's that envelope. Oh, that's my original one from earlier. envelope is just up here. Okay. So there we are, a really quick technique, and you know, you can put together lots of cards very, very fast. If you were to make up the refill ink on another baby wipe, it would be slightly different. It's very, very difficult to try and recreate exactly the same. But when it's fall leaves, they're all different anyway. So now let me show you the second technique for doing the baby wipes. So I've got my block back again. I'm just going to move out of the way my oranges and things, and I'm going to bring in some pinks. So I've got Flirty Flamingo, Melon Mambo and Petal Pink, and then Mango Melody for the middle. And I'm going to use this, which is the smaller flower without the leaves in the prized peony, and it's a red rubber stamp, as you can see. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to make the whole card. I'm just going to show you a few parts of it, and then how to make the background and everything. So it will make this card. This is made with these peonies. And let's just clear a little space here. I just need to move a few little bits out of the way so I've got more space. Okay, so we'll use this for the front of our card. And again, what I did was I stamped on the inside and I stamped the envelope too. So I'm going to pop this on here. Oh no, I'm going to put it on a different one. I'm going to put it on one of the square ones. Let's get this one back. I'm going to put it on here, and then I'm going to find my baby wipe, and again I'm just going to fold it into 4, and I only fold it into 4 so that it fits on this block. Now if you've got a smaller baby wipe or a smaller block, then just fold it so that it fits. Turn it that way over. Okay, now I want it so that the centre of my flower is yellow and it has different pinks going around. So rather than just putting the blobs of ink all over, I try and make the pattern of the flower. So here's a couple that I printed earlier so that I can show you. See how I've got it so that the yellow or the Mango Melody is more in the middle? And then I've got the Flirty Flamingo pink and a little bit of the Melon Mambo, and then the Petal Pink on the edges. So that's what I'm going to try and recreate. Now my computer has stopped giving me comments. I don't know why. So I'm really sorry if you're asking me any questions. I just can't see that there are any. So I'll go back at the end and double check and answer any comments or questions. Okay, so I'm going to start with my Mango Melody to make the middle of the flower. So I'm just going to put a little bit here, and let's move that so you can see. I'm sort of looking at how big that centre is. Doesn't matter if you get it, you know, a little bit too big. It really won't make a difference. So you just do the best you can. Then I'm going to find my Flirty Flamingo, and I'm going to go sort of 2/3 of the way around. So it makes quite a lot of ink, and it makes quite a big circle, but not as big as the whole flower yet. Okay, I'm going to put the lid on that one. And I'm going to then take my Petal Pink and I'm going to do around the edges, and I'm just going to overlap slightly. And if there's any little white bits, I'm going to fill in some with the Petal Pink, even if it's on top of the Flirty Flamingo. That doesn't matter. That sort of helps it to blend in as well. See, I know that's going to fit now. Apart from, I just want a little bit extra up here. Okay, so holding it over the top, I can see that that will fit. I just want to put a couple of highlight bits on, and I'm going to do that with the Melon Mambo. I'm not going to put a lot on, and just in little places, just here and there. Okay, so let's put the lid on that one, and I'm going to use the scratch paper again, just to check that I like it and there's no really big glaring gaps. So I'm just going to put it straight down, just hold it on for a second or two. Okay, now on the grid paper it's a bit difficult to tell, but can you see how that yellow looks just like it's the centre, and then you've got the darker pink and the little highlights and then the petal pink. I'm going to put a little bit more petal pink down in this bottom left corner, just because it's not very dark there. Okay. Put a few more bits while we're going around. Okay. And I'm going to put a little bit more Flirty Flamingo just around this side as well, just on those edges. And you really don't need much, it's only a couple of drops at a time. Okay, so let's pop that there. Oh yeah, that's better. You see, we've just got a little bit more colour down at the bottom here. Okay, and then to make the card, it's exactly the same layout that we did for the leaves. I'm going to pop this on here, and I'm just going to put sort of 3 or 4 flowers around the bottom. So I'm not going to put them all going the same way. And you can either turn your card round or you can turn your stamp round. I want to have most of a flower at this right hand side, and then just a little bit here. And at the same time I would do the inside of my card, and I would do my envelope, and then I would do a little scrap one as well. And let me just see that that's going to fit. That's a bit too small, that one, so let's find a bit bigger scrap. That looks about the right size. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that my centre's right in the middle here, and I'm going to stamp that one. And what I also did was I stamped some leaves. So I used this one, and I used the Garden Green ink, and I just stamped them round here. I'm going to move that one out of the way, and then I used the dies to cut them out. So this is the Peony die. Let's find our little cut and emboss machine again. So put that one on here, and then you just move this around until you find how it fits. And you can tell once these little bumps are lined up with the edge of the flower. Don't leave too big a gap. With our older dies, there was a nice gap that you left before you put it through the cutting machine. But the new dies, they don't have as big an edge on them. So just make sure that you're pretty well lined up with the edge of your flower. Okay, I'll just pop that through. There we are. I'm going to pop the die back because I've got lots of dies out at the moment. And then you would do the same with the leaves. So cut them out, and then you use these ones. Now these leaves here are for if you're making the 3D peonies. I might have one just near me, I'm not sure. Let me check in this bag so that you can see which leaves they are. Yeah, here are some, just in my little scraps bag here. So these are the peonies themselves, and they use these other big dies here. So they make the peony, and then you can make the leaves. Oh, like that as well. So then you use these ones, and these funny little pieces make these edges for the leaves, and I like to do them in 2 colours. But the other dies cut out just the leaves, and you can always tell. And if you take, let's take this off here, if you take the die, you can lay it over the top of the stamp and work out which one it is you need. There are 2 different sorts. Let's take this one off too. One leaf, see how they both look a different way. This one sort of curls to the right, this one curls to the left. So you just need to check with your dies which one it is that you need, which one it is that it's going to cut out. Pop those back. And we don't need that. I'm going to put that one away. So here would be the front of our card, and all I did was I put this one on dimensionals in the exact same way that we put the copper leaf on. And just put it on here with a couple of the leaves peeping through. And then here I use the champagne rhinestones, and this is from Sunny Sentiments. And instead of having just one layer and the card base, I added a white layer at 1/4 inch smaller. So this white layer was 4 by 5 1/4, and then I cut another white layer at 3 3/4 by 5, and then the green layer I just cut sort of 1/8 inch bigger all the way around, just to give that slight colouring that matched the leaves here. And on the inside I did exactly the same. Ooh, a little bit of fluff there. Let's just get rid of that. There we go. I did exactly the same. I just stamped one of the peonies and put this green accent layer in as well. Now, depending on which kind of flowers you have, you can make really different patterns with it. I'm going to move those and show you some of the others that I also did. So that was the prized peony. This delicate Dahlia set is one that's free in the celebration catalogue, and I had a go at doing that with Pacific Point and Coastal Cabana and Mango Melody, and it's the same method that I used for the peony, where I did the centre of the flower yellow and then concentric circles of different colours, and I stamped the outline in Pacific Point. Now, it's a little bit trickier to see the colours when it's these sort of the inspiration stamps, because can you see, when you stamp with them, you automatically get all that different colouring anyway. If I stamp that on a little piece of scrap, let's get just one colour for it. Let's take this peony off and put the dahlia on. Oh, I think I might need a bigger block. I don't think it'll fit on that smaller square. But when you stamp with these ones, they're a special kind of a stamp where you get lots of depth. I don't have many ink pads over here, so let me go and get one. I don't want to stamp it in the... I don't think it'll show up too much in the Cajun crates. Let's have a look anyway, and if not, I'll go and get another colour. So just ink it up, and you can already see, look, there are darker patches and lighter patches, and that's exactly how it's meant to be, so that when you stamp with it, it gives you all that depth of colour without having to over stamp with a second stamp or anything. It gives you those lighter and darker shades, which is really, really pretty. But if you're doing baby wipe technique, it won't stand out quite as much, but it's still doable. And the other one that I did was from the sunflower set. And I just did early espresso in the middle. I think it goes that way. And then mango melody and crushed curry. So you can still, even though it's not going to colour in the whole of the flower, you can still get the image there. and you get the different colours. Okay, so let me pop those to one side. And let's put our cards back for tonight so that you can see what I made. Let's find both of these that we did tonight, not the gold one that I showed you earlier. And then I'll put the pink one, the peony one there as well, so that you can just see how it came out. And these inks would still be wet. If I wanted to do some more right now, it would still work. So let's get that scrap piece back again, and let's put our flower back on. That ink really does stay wet for a long time. So just pop it on here. Okay. So you've got a lot of usage out of just your little refills there, and it does stay for a long time. I've used these in classes at the house where we've been in maybe an hour and a half stamping, and they've stayed, you know, the ladies have made their own, and it's stayed wet for the whole night. So don't think, oh, I'm going to have to keep re-inking and re-inking, because you really don't. Okay, now I can't still see comments, but as I say, I will get back to them. If you have any other questions about the technique, you know, drop me a line, just ask, and I'll see if I can help. If you make something with the technique, post a picture of it for us, and I will send a little gift in the mail. I have a gift to send for Laurie for last week and for Judy, who both made the pocket cards and sent their pictures. Judy, I do need your address though, if you want to private message me it, and then I can send you your gift as well. And Laurie, yours will come in the mail. I know you're going to be away for a little while, but I will send you your gift in the mail as soon as I get them all sorted. Okay, but thanks so much for joining me, and I'm sorry I can't see the comments now, but I hope you enjoyed the technique, and I hope you'll give it a go. Thanks everybody, take care and have a lovely week. I'll see you all again next week. It will be on the Tuesday at the same time, but it's my first day back at school, so bear with me. But I'll see you all again soon. Take care everyone. Bye bye.